For latest astrology videos, subscribe AstroEdify channel and press this bell icon to get notified when a new video goes live. Hello everybody, welcome to AstroEdify. Today we are going to talk about Mars in 9th house. What kind of results we can generally see if Mars is placed in 9th. We will talk about two situations. If Mars is well placed, making good yogas and is strong, then what kind of good results it can give. And second, if Mars is afflicted, not well placed, not getting support from other planets, then what kind of negative results it can bring in 9th house. We are going to see both the cases. So let's start this video. If you want to book a consultation for yourself, you can go on this website. The link is shown in the description. So we are going to talk about Mars in 9th house today. First condition which we are going to discuss, if Mars is well placed. By well placed, I mean that Mars is an own sign, friendly sign, exaltation sign, and and in the chart, Sun, Moon, Jupiter, and 9th Lord, ascendant Lord, Sun, Moon, Jupiter, and 9th Lord are well placed. Because since we are discussing 9th house, you need to see the natural Karak planet of 9th house also. So 9th house is generally ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is the natural significator of 9th house. So you need to see the placement of Jupiter also. Any planet which is sitting in 9th house, you need to see whether it receives support from the Jupiter and the 9th Lord. Whoever is the 9th Lord, you need to see its placement. So if Mars is receiving support from 9th Lord, Jupiter, and Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Lord are strongly placed in the chart, well placed in the chart, then Mars will be considered strong and suitable to give good results in life if it is in 9th. So what kind of results we can see? So first of all, Mars and 9th house are dharma. Dharma means it's not religion. Dharma means attitude towards morals, ethics, virtues, principles, ideologies, belief system. So that kind of thing, it means it brings that element where person tends to make their moral code of conduct and they try to follow it and live by that. That is Mars. And apart from that, it also brings a nature which is where it makes person just, dutiful, responsible, never shies away from duties or toughness in life. It brings a strong sense of right and wrong. It gives honesty in behavior. And see, as I am already mentioned, you need to see other planets. Jupiter, 9th Lord, Lagna Lord, Moon, they must be strong. Only then this will be reflected. Second thing, 9th house is the house of knowledge, wisdom, education, learning. So it gives knowledge and learning, but mostly through self-efforts. Because Mars is like working on your own. It does not or it does not want support from other people easily. So the thing here is that in this case, it's a good situation for having knowledge, having interest in various subjects and learning them. But mostly in this case, having teachers or finding teachers is a difficult thing. Mostly it gives knowledge and learning through self-efforts. And apart from that, Mars looks at 3rd house and 4th house. So 3rd house is writing. So it is very good for writing, media, journalism. 9th house is also printing and publication. And 9th house is the house of law. Mars, Saturn, Jupiter are good for law. And 9th house is education. So it is good for teaching and education fields. Then it is also suitable for being in management or administration or government. You need to see other combinations, of course. But Mars generally is supportive for that. Then if a horoscope has yogas for science streams, then Mars is good for having education in science and technology or engineering. Then it is also good for philosophy and life science. You need to see yogas for that. And 9th house is the house of spiritual life. So if good spiritual yogas are present in the chart, then it is an excellent situation for meditation, practicing two kind of yogas. One is karma yoga, path of actions, and second raj yoga, path of meditation. It can be any form of meditation, but Mars is very good for that. Then 9th house is father and teachers. So in 9th house, Mars, if it is strong, still it can show troubles to father. Any kind of troubles to father. Or if Sun is not very well placed, it can show troubles with father also. So maybe the relationship with father is somewhat strained, or the father's health suffers, or father somewhat suffers in life in general. So any kind of troubles to or with father can be seen. Then with teachers and mentors and guides, as I mentioned, even if you have them, it will be like a rebellious approach. Maybe there could be some tussles with them. and mostly you have to put self efforts in order to learn, in order to move ahead in life. You can get still some guidance, but ultimately what comes upon is Mars learning on his own. Second thing, it is very good for communication. And third house is siblings. Mars is siblings, so it's if third house is good, Mars is looking at it, it can it's a suitable situation for having generally good sibling relationship. Although there can be certain disputes sometimes, that is aggressive nature of Mars, but it brings healthy relationship with siblings if it's well placed. Then apart from that, ninth house is long distances, travels. So Mars is good for traveling long distances, visiting particularly religious places, and it also enhances the person's inclination towards their own learning, their own culture, own tradition, own values, own what you can say religion, all those things. So if Jupiter is strong, then it will be reflected. If it's not, then Mars can show totally opposite thing. Then it can make person who does not believe it too much in religion, does not have too much faith, and they are more logically bound, or they are more of a kind where they tend to become quite skeptical, overly skeptical about the tradition and religion in general. Then apart from that, it's also suitable situation for staying, means living or working away from the native place of birth or the country. And this is also a good situation for having land and properties. uh, but you need to see fourth house. If that is strong, then this situation will help. So good for land and properties, good for travels. So these are quite good results of Mars in ninth house. Now we'll talk about if Mars is badly placed. By badly placed, I mean that it is in enemy sign. It is afflicted heavily by Saturn, Sun, Rahu, Ketu, and it is or sixth, eighth, or 12th lords, or it is extremely retrograde. In Navamsha chart, it is badly placed, and in the zodiac sign in which it is sitting, the lord of that sign is not well placed. It is not receiving any support from that. And Moon, Sun, Lagna Lord, and Jupiter, they are not strongly placed, or they do not give ample support to Mars. Then the more of these situations will happen, the more Mars will lose strength, the more negative results it can bring, the more affinity to bring negative results will be there. Okay, so in this case, if Mars is badly placed in in ninth house, then it can show a lot of challenges and negative results as well. So ninth house was dharma. Dharma means righteousness. But if ninth house is bad and Mars is sitting there, then it can lead to adharma, means a path of unrighteousness. So thing here is that in this case, adharma means several tendencies, several negative characteristics in behavior can be seen, which increase this bad, what you can say, general personality trait. So it can show a person who is quite hypocrite. They tend to what you can say, pretend to be very honest, very diligent, very sincere, but none of those characteristics are there in them. So hypocrite, extremely hypocrite. Second thing, selfishness and self-centeredness is very high. Greed, corruption is there. Cunningness is there. No sense of right and wrong. Seek shortcuts to attain and fulfill their goals and ambitions. Irresponsible nature, shy away from duties, and twist law and order and morality for self-serving purposes. It can also show person who is indulging in any kind of illegal, corrupt malpractices or any kind of criminal activities. You need to see the other yogas. Don't jump to conclusions. You need to see other planets. Next thing, it can also show a person who uses knowledge in a wrong sense, means wrong use of knowledge, wrong use of education. Then it can show two things. One, either a person is a really big fundamentalist or a bigot, who is means it could be towards any kind of ideology which they believe in, but extreme fundamentalist approach, extreme bigot approach towards one's belief system can be seen. And where you are like so much on the rigidity part that you tend to become extremely judgmental, prejudiced, biased, and harmful for other people who do not align with your belief systems or similar viewpoints. That is also a really, really bad characteristic of Mars in ninth. Then, if it is bad, not good, if it is good, then these things won't be there. Then it can also bring a tendency for self-denial, holding grudges, living in the past, having vindication, and person who thinks that they are right most of the times. It means Mars is arrogance, so it can show arrogance upon your own belief systems and ideologies and knowledge, whatever you have. And it shows ego due to small or limited knowledge. A good Mars does not give that. Good Mars brings a sense that knowledge is infinite, and I cannot even what you can say, I cannot even understand a fraction of it in one lifetime. That is the beauty of good Mars and Jupiter. But if it is bad, it's like I know everything, I have completed, and now I have a huge arrogance and ego upon my little knowledge, whatever the person has. Next thing, it can show a person who is quite controlling, and because it's aspecting the fourth house. Then it ninth house is father and teachers and mentors, so it is bad for father, either a really bad relationship with father, or it harms the father in any way. Then same for teachers, you don't get teachers or gurus, you have to work on your own. It hampers your education also. Then fourth house is mother, so Mars aspects the fourth house, it can create troubles to mother. It aspects third house, so it can create troubles with siblings or two siblings. Then third house is communication and speech, so it can create harsh and bad or abusive, hurtful speech. Then it's negative for career and bhagya. Bhagya means fortune. Ninth house is luck and fortune, so it reduces it. And if luck reduces, what happens? Struggle increase in life. So that can be seen. And even if, let's suppose, either a person does not get good opportunities easily, and even if they get, it's like you tend to reject them, or either you are not able to make best use out of them. So these kind of negative results can be seen if Mars is badly placed in ninth house. But again, I will mention that don't jump to conclusions, see other planets how they are, and then arrive at a proper decision that okay, this is how a particular planet is behaving. It can be good for certain things, it could be bad for certain things simultaneously, or it could be really good for every aspect, it could be really bad for every aspect. That depends from chart to chart. So you don't have to just see that okay, my Mars is exalted, so it's very good. If it's debilitated, it's very bad. It's not like that. You have to see how other situations are happening. It's like a dynamic situation, and then arrive at proper conclusion. I hope you understood that what Mars is capable to give in ninth house, if it's placed well or bad. That's all for today. We'll talk about Mars in 10th in the next video. If you are new to my channel, subscribe below for more. Check on my website, Facebook page, Instagram. Otherwise, we will meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye and thank you.